Marion Sessions and her husband John loved their home at Parwich in the Derbyshire Dales, but when friends invited them over to Portugal for a short break, they jumped at the chance. Marion immediately began scouring the internet for cheap flights from Birmingham to Faro and came across the online travel agency eDreams. Initially the signs were good, until the moment it came to pay.
Everything went fine until the last moment when I clicked for one extra piece of luggage coming back, which should have cost £17.50, and the total came up to be £23 billion. At first I thought I was seeing things and maybe the decimal points had gone wrong, and then I realised it really was 23 billion.
Unsurprisingly, Marion decided it was a little out of their price range and later wrote about her experience in a blog, at which point eDreams got in touch.
They apologised in a sort of a way and did offer, as a gesture of commercial support, a €40 discount on my next flight.
eDreams, which is based in Spain, markets itself with the slogan, "Great trips start with great prices." In a statement, they told us,
"It's definitely a bug. We are working to identify and fix it. Our customer must have received quite a shock. It goes without saying, we apologise for the inconvenience."
Marion and John did eventually find another set of flights, this time, thankfully, well within their budget.
I think it was £199.
So a slight discrepancy then?
Slightly more than the original 184 that was claimed, but rather less than 23 billion.
Marion and John say they've not been put off buying flights on the internet in the future, but admit they will be checking twice before clicking on the Proceed to Pay button. Phil Brewster, ITV News, Derbyshire.
Well, they did say, didn't they? Great prices.
It certainly was. Could you imagine the shock of that? I mean, that's one expensive flight.
Yeah. Do you remember a time when hand luggage simply meant, just a little bit of hand luggage? And nowadays people are struggling on with their suitcases, upstairs they go.
That's usually me. That's usually me, Bob, trying to fit everything into a little suitcase. But 23 billion, you could buy your own plane for that.
And a few more. You could buy a whole fleet.
You could. And in fact, you could probably go to space and back as well, I should imagine, on that price. Ridiculous. Well, glad they didn't pay it, otherwise they'd have a phone call from their bank as well, I think.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Now, you'll remember last week we told you our early morning presenter Balvinder Sidhu would be strutting her stuff on the dance floor this weekend in a spin-off of the popular TV show Strictly Come Dancing. Well, here's Bal and her instructor Mark last week as they got in some final rehearsals together before the competition for charity on Saturday night. And doesn't she look great? Well, altogether there were 15 competitors, including BBC TV weather presenter Becky Wood. And it's fair to say Bal was a little bit nervous about how she'd do.
Well, Bal joins us now. You looked as though you were grimacing a bit there, Bal. Were you a bit nervous or something?
Nervous is not the word. I was absolutely petrified. I mean, I am not a dancer. And now when I look back at that video of me dancing, I can't believe that's me. I mean, it was amazing. I managed to just pull it together. I mean, a couple of days before the show itself, I was out of time, I was not in sync with my partner. His head was there, my head was in the other direction. I was either ahead of him or behind of him, and it just wasn't coming together. But on the day, I look back and I think, oh my God, I can't believe that's me. I've done that.
You look fantastic, but what were the judges like?
Well, I put a lot of effort into my outfit, the dress, the hair, the makeup, everything. So I was very disappointed when one of the judges, the only comment he made was, "Black dress and white shoes, darling. What were you thinking?"
How rude.
I was absolutely mortified. And that was bizarre because then there was another judge who's a professional ballroom dancing champion, and he gave us an 8 out of 10, and he loved the performance. He thought it was fantastic. And if all the other judges had given similar marks, we probably would have made the final.
Yeah. Now, I know you put a tremendous amount of effort into this and a lot of passion into it. You're not going to let it end there, are you?
Well, I would like to say that I'm not a dancer, And this was a massive achievement for me.
Yeah, but was it fun? That's the thing.
It was a lot of fun. It was absolutely wonderful to be part of an event like this. However, strictly no dancing for me. I'm going to stick to the early presenting shift.
Oh, no.
Yeah, definitely no more dancing for me.
Oh, but you look so elegant in that video.
And I have huge admiration for everyone who took part in this event, though. A huge admiration.
Oh, well done for having a crack at it. Thanks, Belle. And I've got to tell you, Belle's being very modest because she actually came 6th out of the 12 competitors, so well done there. Now, look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Here's Lucy Kite.
Hello, I hope you've had a lovely Monday. I've got a great picture for you tonight, taken at Ironbridge. Thank you very much to David Hudson for sending us that. It looks nice and fine there. So what's happening over the next few days? Well, a few showers in the forecast, but on the whole, it's not looking bad. You can see the showers from today. They're shifting away in a northeasterly direction to leave us with rather a lot of clouds through this evening and overnight, but very mild temperatures for the time of year, not far off what we would expect during the daytime for late September. So a dry night ahead of us, and then tomorrow morning a fairly mild start to the day, but we hold on to rather a lot of cloud through the morning, so quite a grey start, but gradually the sunshine will burst through that cloud. We'll see the cloud lift and break, and we're in for a lovely bright afternoon, more in the way of sunshine compared to today, and as a result temperatures potentially a touch higher, 19-20 degrees Celsius, so above what we would expect once again for late September. Light winds as well, so feeling nice and pleasant. Let's have a quick look at the outlook. It's staying settled as we move through the rest of the week. We're chasing the cloud around a little bit, but temperatures will remain above the seasonal average, and then a little bit more autumnal by the time we get to the weekend. I'll tell you more later.
A reminder now of tonight's top stories on ITV News Central. Police are hunting a suspected burglar who hit a 71-year-old man so hard he nearly lost his eye. The victim, a farmer from Hales Owen, heard a noise in the early hours and went outside to be confronted by the attacker.
Motorists who use West Midland Railway Station and Midland Metro car parks and don't follow the rules could be given £100 fines from today if they don't park in marked bays.
And White D, the star of the controversial show Benefit Street, has accused the Prime Minister of demonising welfare claimants. She was speaking at a fringe event in Birmingham where the Conservatives are holding their party conference.
Now, plenty more news on our website, including the kitten which brought rush hour traffic to a standstill in Malvern this morning. The address is itv.com/central.
Which brings us to the end of our programme. I'll be back at 10:30 with the late news headlines. For now, though, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Osborne's gamble, vote Tory for a welfare freeze. £25 billion more in cuts are needed, he says, half from the benefits budget.
This is the choice Britain needs to take to protect our economic stability and to secure a better future.
Also tonight, tensions in Hong Kong. The pro-democracy demonstration swells under China's watchful eyes.
From Iraq, why even a Second World War cannon is playing its part in the fight against IS.
And remembering Anne Maguire, a great teacher stabbed to death in her own classroom.
We're here today to say we miss you. We're here to say we love you. But we really, really would like to say thank you.
This is ITV News at 6:30 with Alistair Stewart and Mary Nightingale.
Good evening. Pre-election we may be, but the Chancellor opted for takeaway rather than giveaway today. A benefit freeze and cuts across government. £25 billion more, half of it from the welfare budget. The hard years of austerity, he warned, are not over.
Job seekers' allowance, tax credits, housing and child benefit are frozen for 2 years. 10 million households would lose an average of £320 a year. From the Conservative conference in Birmingham, our political editor Tom Bradby reports on Osborne's gamble.